You ask an AI for something important, you get this beautifully written answer, looks totally convincing, but it's just completely wrong, made up.
Yeah, the infamous hallucination.
Exactly. And today we're diving deep into, well, arguably the biggest thing holding generative AI back from really being used everywhere in business.
Right.
That hallucination problem. We're not talking about funny mistakes here. For a company, this could mean an AI inventing legal clauses or making up financial data, maybe even getting internal rules completely backwards.
Right.
So our mission today is to unpack the technical fix for this huge risk. It's a concept called automated reasoning.
And that's really the crux of it. For you, the listener, getting why this matters is key. Hallucinations, they're absolute showstoppers. Why? Because they undermine everything businesses need: reliable decisions, staying compliant with regulations, and just basic trust. Until we can actually solve that, these amazing AI prototypes, they're kind of stuck in the lab. They can't safely go live for, critical stuff like talking to customers or enforcing internal policies.
Okay, let's unpack that then. Automated reasoning. It sounds a bit complex. Is this the new AI thing?
Not at all, actually. It's a really established field in computer science. Deep roots. It's all about formal logic, mathematical proof. Think of it like teaching a computer to be an incredibly rigorous, precise logician. No wiggle room.
A logician, okay. But how does that contrast with the AI we usually hear about, the large language models, the LLMs? Because they seem pretty smart already.
Yeah, they seem smart, but they work fundamentally differently. It's a fascinating contrast, really. LLMs are, at their core, probabilistic.
Meaning
They're trained on just massive amounts of text and data to predict the next most likely word. They're masters of sounding plausible, sounding coherent. They're like a very convincing poet.
Poets are like that, but not auditors.
Exactly. They aim for plausibility. Automated reasoning, on the other hand, it couldn't care less about sounding good. It's about mathematical proofs. It takes a set of rules you provide your specific company policies, for instance, and it seeks a definitive, verifiable conclusion. True? False? Or maybe unknown if it doesn't have the facts.
So it's the cold, hard logic checking the poet's work.
Precisely. It ignores the nice phrasing and just asks, does this statement logically follow from the established rules if they're proof?
Okay, poet versus auditor, love it. So the LLM writes something plausible, and AR comes in to check if it's actually correct according to the rule book. But how does that work mechanically? Going from, say, an HR policy document to a mathematical proof sounds, well, hard.
It is complex, but that's where the process called formalization comes in. It's the key step. Imagine your HR team writes a big employee handbook. Lots of pages, natural language, maybe some ambiguity.
Sure, standard stuff.
To formalize it, you essentially translate that entire handbook into a rigid, structured, logical format. Like turning the whole document into a massive, interconnected flowchart that a computer can follow without any misinterpretation.
Okay, so you translate the rule book into this strict logical flowchart. Step one. Then, say, an employee asks the AI a question, and the LLM drafts an answer. What's next?
Right, so step two. Both the employee's original question and the LLM's drafted answer also get translated into that same logical representation.
Everything's speaking the same logical language.
Exactly. Then, step three. The AR system systematically runs a check. It verifies if the LLM's answer logically holds up against the rules in that formalized policy flowchart. It's literally trying to build a mathematical proof.
And the result of that proof
Is super clear and crucial for business use. It tells you, is this answer valid according to the rules? Is it invalid? Or sometimes, is there simply no data available within the system to make a judgment?
Okay. Valid, invalid, no data.
And that acts as this seamless safety layer right on the output. It shifts the result from just sounds about right or plausibly correct to logically improvably correct according to our specific policies.
That shift, that's enormous. That's the trust layer. It gives you something explainable, something auditable that, well, the LLM by itself just can't offer. Okay, that verification layer sounds incredibly powerful in theory. Let's make it really concrete. Where are businesses feeling the pinch right now, needing this level of absolute compliance?
Oh, definitely. In areas where getting it wrong has immediate serious consequences. Compliance is just non-negotiable. Think about HR and say, leave policies first.
Right. Okay. Give me an example.
So imagine a new employee, maybe they've been there 3 months.
Yeah.
They ask the internal AI helper, hey, can I take paid leave?
Yeah.
The LLM, maybe trained on general web data or just trying to be helpful, might draft a reply saying, yep, looks like you're eligible.
Oh, boy. That could be bad if the actual company policy needs, say, a year of service, or maybe you have to be full-time.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Potentially disastrous, right? That's where the AR layer steps in. It sees that yes answer, compares it to the formalized rule needing 1 year of service.
And flags it.
Instantly flags it as invalid. But here's the crucial part. It doesn't just say no. It points to the specific rule that was broken, like, clause 4.2.a, minimum service requirement. And often, it can even suggest the correct policy-compliant way to phrase the answer for the LLM.
Okay, I can just picture HR and legal teams breathing a massive sigh of relief, seeing that invalid flag pop up instead of the wrong answer going out.
You bet. It stops a major liability right there. And you see the exact same need, just maybe scaled up, in financial services.
Makes sense, like with loans or advice.
Precisely. Think about a customer service bot. Maybe it's discussing loan options. If the bot generates text saying, yes, you qualify for this special low interest rate, that's a big claim.
Huge. The AR layer instantly checks that claim against the bank's internal formalized rules. Does the customer meet the minimum income? What's their current debt-to-income ratio? Is it below the threshold? Are there regional restrictions? All that stuff.
So if the policy says, I don't know, debt-to-income must be below 40%, and the LLM's answer didn't account for that variable for this customer.
The AR catches it instantly. If any condition is missed, or if the answer conflicts with the rules, bong, it flags the issue. And again, it explains why. It might say, invalid, debt-to-income ratio rule not met. This prevents giving out wrong financial advice, which is, a massive regulatory risk.
Absolutely critical. And I guess you see similar needs in areas like medical explanations or insurance claims, where the language has to be super precise.
Spot on. The AR layer validates explanations given to patients or policyholders. Are they following the standard procedures? Do they match the policy terms exactly? It ensures consistency and accuracy.
You mentioned 3 outputs before: valid, invalid, and no data. Why is no data important? Seems like it just means I don't know.
But the no data result is actually incredibly useful. It's a feature, not a bug. If the AR system looks at the LLM's answer and the rules and realizes it needs a specific piece of information, that it doesn't have to make a judgment. Maybe the policy depends on the customer's state of residence, but that wasn't provided in the query.
Right.
It returns no data.
Yeah.
And that's effectively a prompt. It tells the user, or maybe the LLM itself, hey, I need this specific variable state of residence before I can give you a verifiable answer. It forces completeness.
So it makes the whole interaction safer and more thorough by highlighting missing pieces. Clever.
Exactly. It ensures the final response isn't just safe, but actually comprehensive enough to be properly verified.
Okay, this all makes a ton of sense technologically, but it does sound like an extra layer, extra complexity, extra investment. Why is this becoming so necessary right now? Why wasn't the LLM's good enough probabilistic approach cutting it?
Well, 2 big reasons, really. First, the stakes have just exploded. We're talking about potentially transformative value from generative AI. Some research suggests it could add, up to $4.4 trillion annually to the global economy?
Wow, that's a lot.
It's huge. But you don't unlock that value if businesses can't trust the AI's output. If the answers are unreliable or non-compliant, adoption just stalls, especially for the really valuable core business processes. AR provides that missing piece.
Yeah.
The reliability, the trust needed to actually capture that economic value safely.
So it's about de-risking that massive opportunity.
That's a big part of it. The second reason is bridging the compliance gap. LLMs are amazing for things like brainstorming, drafting marketing copy, areas where you can tolerate some fuzziness, maybe iterate.
Yeah.
Experiments.
Creative stuff.
But putting AI into production for critical workflows, things like internal policy advice, operating procedures, regulated customer interactions, you need verifiability. You need audit trails.
Regulators and internal auditors aren't going to accept, well, the AI sounded pretty confident.
Not a chance. AR provides that explainable, version-controlled checking mechanism. It gives you proof that the AI's output aligns with the rules, which is essential for satisfying those compliance demands.
That makes perfect sense. It's the bridge from cool experiment to secure, auditable business tool, and I'm guessing there's a cost efficiency angle here, too.
Oh, absolutely. Think about the alternative for a minute.
Yeah.
If you don't have automated verification, what do?
You probably have humans check everything, like lawyers or policy experts reviewing every single AI answer before it goes out.
Exactly, which is incredibly slow and expensive.
Yeah.
By formalizing those expert rules into an AR system, you automate the verification for all the routine, clear-cut cases.
Which frees up the human experts
to focus only on the genuinely complex, ambiguous, gray area situations that actually require their nuanced judgment. It's a huge efficiency multiplier. Saves time, saves money, lets experts do expert work.
And you mentioned this isn't just theory, it's actually being deployed.
Yeah, it's moving into the mainstream. A really good example is Amazon Bedrock guardrails.
Okay, let's give a little context there. Amazon Bedrock is AWS's platform for building with generative AI models, and guardrails are the safety features they offer within it.
Right. And automated reasoning checks are now integrated right into Bedrock guardrails, alongside other safety tools people might be more familiar with, like filtering out harmful content or removing PII, personally identifiable information.
So things like names, addresses, social security numbers, AR is sitting alongside those fundamental safety checks.
Precisely. Which really shows it's becoming standard practice, not just some optional add-on for specialized use cases. So if you connect all the dots, step back and look at the big picture. Think of automated reasoning as the mathematical gatekeeper,
Right.
or the ultimate compliance check sitting on top of the LLM's creativity.
It doesn't write the story.
No, it doesn't write the content,
Mm.
but it ensures the content is auditable, it's explainable, and it is 100% compliant with the rules you've defined. And that is the critical factor moving enterprise AI from just being potentially useful to being genuinely safe, deployable, and fundamentally trustworthy.
That really nails it. A perfect summary of our deep dive today. It feels like this journey from just probabilistic language to logically provable compliance is really the next major hurdle and maybe the next major step for AI in business.
I think so. It's unlocking that next level of trust.